What's poppin', beautiful people? Welcome back to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. Welcome here if you are new. We have James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel who is here with us to help us go over the very boring episode in thus far season. That is 90 Day, The Single Life. Welcome in.
Thank you for having me. Hey, everybody, like, comment, and subscribe. Show my girl some love, especially if you like what you see.
Please do. I put the wrong thing up because I saw Watch Yo and thought it was Watch Your Mouth Reviews, but this is the Watch Your Best Friends channel. The 3 is an E. We have a new YouTube channel. Shout out to our 2 new subscribers. We went from 35 to 37. Amen. Thank you, Lord.
Hey, I love it.
We go live there about once a week. Sometimes we post shorts. We have little videos. We play games. We do a lot there. So be sure to check that out. But what I was trying to tell you people was to go to the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel on YouTube, which is also always in the link or also always in the description of all of the videos we do. Go to James's channel, check it out. We do a lot on there, and also check out the other creators that are in the description of this video. But let's get into 90 Day, The Single Life, because we won't be here for long. We're not going to be here for long. We're just not. It's impossible. But what ends up happening with this episode, we're going to start with Gino and his forehead. You know, Gino, I don't understand why you have to keep this hat on. I get that you're bald, but if you're going to be bald, embrace it. He's not Brad Pitt, but he's not.
He's not. He's not ugly. So I don't understand. I didn't understand the hat either. It just made me look at him like, oh, okay.
Be confident, Gino.
Yeah.
Be confident. If you have confidence, you could pull bitches you never thought you would be able to, Gino. You could. You really could. Women, confidence goes far with women. If we sense a confident man, we don't care if you're short, tall, big, small. Women love confidence.
Just saying. Absolutely, they do. They really do.
Lord. But he's stuck in Natalie's bedroom. He's going to visit Natalie. Natalie and Gino never really officially dated. Gino don't know how to be single is what I'm getting from it. And he went from his ex-wife, who's still not his ex-wife, but soon to be ex-wife, straight into trying to talk to Natalie. And then while he's winning Natalie back, he's talking to other people, which we gonna get to. But he snuck into her bedroom in the night. And she was like, he was bold. I said, he was bold. You snuck into her bedroom at night? Please, men, do not be just sneaking into women's rooms at night because it doesn't always go this way. It just doesn't. But she kind of set herself up because why would you let him try out your fancy bed and then not invite him to lay in it and put him in the living room? That's crazy.
Agreed. Yeah.
I know it's her house, but that's crazy. But him and Natalie, she feels awkward next to him and she's acting like everything is cool. And she just feels awkward waking up next to him because Natalie is still impacted by Jasmine, who is the ex-wife who tried to assault her when she was trying to talk to Gino. Girl, if you're so bothered by that, why even go back and give it a second try? Like, it seems like she wants Gino to jump through hoops, but she takes him to meet her friends. And I guess they're having a potluck. You got a lot of Black friends, Natalie. I like seeing diversity in a friend group. I feel like the best friend groups are diverse, but you know, that's just me. From the Bay Area. It's very diverse here. I can't help it, y'all. But why did this man bring ham and cheese sandwiches? And not even the correct ham and cheese sandwiches. They were on what looked to be the driest wheat bread that the grocery store had to offer. And there was no condiments, nothing on it. It was ham and it was cheese. And he was like, I'm just going to heat this up. Why were you taking the cheese and the ham off of the bread to heat it up? You should have put some butter in that skillet and made it a ghetto grilled cheese if you was going to do anything. Why would you flip ham and cheese on a skillet? Then he's like, oh my God, it's sticking, ruining these people good pots. James, never heard of anybody bringing ham and cheese.
No.
To a potluck.
No.
With condiments. No.
Y'all, and I live in Phoenix, Arizona. I keep trying to tell y'all, people will have you messed up here when it comes to food and, you know, events. But I have not seen this type of travesty ever in life. So he just probably doesn't know what he just doesn't know what he's doing. Bless his heart.
I'm sorry. That was some clear people shit. If I ain't seen it, I'm sorry. to the internet. I don't know how else to describe it. Ham and cheese. Now, if you was bringing ham and cheese hot pockets, honestly, we could have put them in the oven. Them is hella good. I don't eat those no more, but they are they are good. I haven't eaten pork in almost 20 years. But if I did, I would have some ribs, some real lumpia with the pork in it, and a ham and cheese hot pocket. And in that order, I would.
I know that's right, friend.
Lord, I miss it. But I can't eat pork, y'all. It break me out. I don't know why. And I hold on to it. I get fat in the ass, and I don't need that. Now, after interacting with the friends and tearing up their pots, things get a little awkward. He talks to one of the girls who's Natalie's closest friend. And, he's like, so is Natalie talking to other guys? I said, Gino, you walked right into that. Because a friend said, no, she doesn't, but is you talking to other women? And pretty much Gino admits, yes, I talk to other women, but it's because they know I'm going through the divorce. Gino always loves to remind us that he's famous from 90 Day Fiancé. And Gino, I promise you, not that many women are talking to you in real life if you weren't on TV. And I'm not trying to say that, but I feel like if he lets go of this weird 90 Day Fiancé ego, because he's brought it up in every episode, like women see me and I have to keep up with this on social media. And it's like, no, you don't. That's literally what this woman is telling you.
Right.
He's not listening. But he dumbly tells this to her friend, and he's like, they message me, but I haven't met up with them, but I talked to them. And it's really not a bad thing that he's entertaining other women, because him and Natalie are not in a relationship. They're not trying to be.
True.
But if you're interested in it becoming more with Natalie, Gino, then why would you tell her close friends that you're talking to other women? That's your business. I would have just told her, well, me and her aren't in a relationship. So you got any other questions? I like, because your friend, why is she playing this game with him? Your friends should never be the ones to determine if you want to be with someone. Like, if you want to date someone, your friends can advise you. But I'm not going to go to James and be like, I need to see how this man interacts around James and all of our friends in order to date him. That's crazy. That's crazy. I get people do it, but it's crazy.
It's crazy because only you have to deal with that person, not your friends. So it's one of those situations where I do agree with you. I feel like that is really odd. And for the people who feel like, oh no, like couples need to have friends, and they do. We're not saying that they don't, but there does not need to be a stamp of approval of who you're with, because only you have to deal with that person. Your friends don't have to deal with that person. Now, if you got the kind of friend there where you have to deal with the aftermath, that's what you're there for. You're there to support.
You're there to support, not to make the decision and date the mother, what for them. That's the best way to explain it. But not too much happens. At the end, her friend goes to Natalie and is like, yeah, I don't like this guy for you. He says he's talking to other women, and that seemed to be her only reason for not liking him. Here's the problem, though, baby. Why would a man that's in a relationship admit to talking to other women? He's not in a relationship with your friend. He can do whatever what he wants to. As quiet as kid. And it seemed like Natalie knows that and tried to explain it to her friend. But I'm like, friends are like family. You complain too much, depending on the friend. Like me, my friends could tell me up and down their spouse has done the worst of the worst to them. I will still smile in front of that spouse and act like I know nothing. But, privately with my friend, I'm gonna be like, oh, hell no, he had you twisted. You deserve better. But in front of the spouse, I'll still always be respectful. I feel like Natalie's playing a game. I feel like she is playing a game and wants to be on TV. I have seen some people talking about this in like the 90-day pages, fan pages, Reddit threads, groups, all of that. And I see what y'all, and I understand why y'all would feel that way, because she's obviously not interested in him. He doesn't blend with her family. He doesn't blend with her friends. She's already been assaulted by the ex-wife. She still sees he's talking to and going back and forth with the lady online. If he's still doing the things that you say you're not interested in order to date him, then why are you still entertaining him?
Agreed.
Just saying. So, Gino, that 90-day fame you're so proud of, be careful, because some people might deal with you because of it and for no other reason. How you feel about these people as a whole? Did you want to add anything?
No, we can move forward.
I could tell they just bored you to pieces.
Absolutely.
We're gonna get into the. I didn't know how to discuss these people, so I have a Pedro / Sophie / Julia / Liz /
Right, because they all in connectivity here.
They're all connected. They are, it's funny. They gave Pedro the same story Chantel had when she did the single life her first time. She went overseas to Greece with some friends and was running after this boy. But Pedro's nasty ass sister, Nicole, is back. Nicole, the plastic surgery is actually making you look worse. We don't like Nicole, James.
We don't like Nicole? Okay.
We don't like Lydia. They, in my opinion, are solely responsible if we had to blame anybody for Pedro and Chantel breaking up on 90 Day. They
Did she start that fight?
She assaulted Chantel with a glass. And Pedro's like, well, I wanted to meet with Nicole because Nicole, she was right about Chantel. Nicole was not right about Chantel. Chantel put up with the bull crap from your family off the strength of loving you, Pedro, and your narrow behind. Your sister called Chantel out her name, disrespected her, brought her friends around when Pedro and Chantel were visiting the Dominican Republic and tried to hook her friends up with her brother so that he would cheat on Chantel. Lydia, which is their mama, who had them by a married man and then refused to let that man know the kids. Yeah, Pedro's family is effed up in ways that we could never even imagine. Talking about that's the culture in the DR. Who was insisting
and we know that's the culture of DR. Look at the bottle of Negros.
It is though. That's why I be saying that on Love and Hip Hop. These are the people I be commented on. These people, James, it's a lot with Nicole. She done assaulted the lady with the glass. They had to call the police in the last season of The Family. Chantel tried to fight people, disrespected Chantel's mama, daddy, sister, everybody. At one point, Pedro didn't talk to her. And then Nicole went and dated a boy in New York because her and Lydia's goal was to get citizenship. And they were mad that they didn't get that through Pedro's marriage to Chantel. Hell, he got to get his own first.
I was just going to say that. Like, y'all have to understand, that's not how that works.
They didn't care. Pedro's mom is a divorce attorney in the Dominican Republic, which, by the way, ranks third to last in the world for education. From secondary to post-secondary.
Wait, so she was a divorce attorney that had children by a married man.
Let me tell you this about her. A divorce attorney out there is going to be the equivalent, if your only education is from there, is the equivalent of a paralegal out here. Hell, a paralegal out here might be able to help me more with a divorce than Lydia. But I'm a digress. But we don't like Pedro's family, and I had to give James all of that so he could understand.
I appreciate that because I was not, because her energy was off. Like, had they not been introduced as siblings, like I would have thought
and witchcraft to Chantel and the family trying to put a curse on her.
Her energy is just so off, y'all. Like, I'm not playing. Like, her energy, I would have thought they were fucking.
She's weird with her brother. That whole family is very weird. And then she came with that ugly ass dog talking about she doesn't like to walk. Girl, if you gonna have a little dog and you want to look cutesy like the rich girls in the US you're trying to copy, get the motherfucker groomed. Because that dog was looking like Simba when he was drawn by Rafiki on that rock. No. I hate an ugly ass small dog that's useless. I need my dog to be able to bite someone in the ass if they try to break in. I need my dog to be strong. That's just me. But I live in Oakland, so I need that. But Pedro, I say all of that about your sister to say this. You shouldn't be asking for advice on your family. You should have learned from your marriage ending because of the drama they caused with Chantel that pushed her away. And you should keep your family away from your partner as much as possible the way that they are. Because when your mom was okay with being a mistress and having kids that way, because they both by the same man, you don't have the foundation to understand how family and relationship and things like that are supposed to be. And that's okay. Hopefully he learns, but he just didn't know. But they discussed Sophie, and I actually agree with Nicole's advice, even though I didn't like her. Pedro is trying to be a good guy, and he has always tried to be a good guy. Like, he really didn't have any cheating rumors or anything with Chantel until the marriage was over. So I can't say that he's a bad guy in a relationship, but Nicole's right. If the girl don't appreciate it, then you need to move on. But I am proud of Nicole because when we met her, she could not talk to us without subtitles. So good for her on learning some English. I mean, I got to say something positive. How do you feel about his meeting with his sister other than the off energy?
That was pretty much it. Like, to me, he's never going to see that his sister realistically is his op. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be ever something that like we give grievance to, because unfortunately, if you can't see your sister being the op, then you're never going to see the issue. And your sister is the issue in your
Mm.
life. And I know that you love her. I know. And y'all, look, I don't begrudge him at all. I get that. But at the same time, there's just certain things that my sister would not have control over. My emotions, my love life is one of them.
Yeah, I think that's really just anybody. No
Right.
one should be able to control your emotions or your love life but yourself. That's how it should be. But you know,
Hmm.
good luck, Pedro. Um, Liz. Liz goes on a date with Pedro's friend. The date goes well. Baby, you in the Dominican Republic on vacation. You just met this man. Please stop talking about you falling for him. The last time you fell for somebody, it was Humpty Dumpty. And he literally knocked your wall down and rolled down a hill. No. After Ed, I want Liz to take her time. Plus, she's dealing with the cancer. Liz, I feel like Liz is doing what a lot of women do. Just because you have this like romantic first date or experience with someone after vibing doesn't mean it's going to last. Some men get the coochie and have a good time through being romantic. They just do. My husband used to be a hoe. You ask any of his exes or the little girls he used to sleep with, they all say the same thing. They was confused because he was nice. They thought they was gonna be a couple, and he no. Some men use their riz and their game and just being polite. Okay, and I feel like she's taking that as something more. And I think the guy likes her, but I don't think he interested like that. Like I just don't.
Right.
But I don't know. Do you feel differently?
No, I thought, to me, I thought she was putting on way too strong and
Mm,
really just in her feelings. Like, I get people can be different than what you experience and judging based on what we saw in the clips of her past. I totally understand her, but I need her to stop settling for less than what she deserves, because that's what it almost feels like she's doing.
that's the truth. That's the absolute truth.
Like, I don't know her that well, but from based on the experiences that I'm seeing her in these situations, it does. It gives that you're settling for less than what you deserve. And everybody should not be that appeasing to you. You need to do some forward work. And that's why I tell people, if you guys go back and watch our besties channel, our collab channel, I have said some of the things that I have done to trigger men, because I need to know what I am dealing with. I say this all the time. I need to know what I'm dealing with. And if you're not showing me your triggers, I'm gonna assume you're a serial killer.
That's
That's
terrible.
just that it's terrible, but I need to see some sense of anger. So that way
Liz,
I know what I'm dealing with. I don't need to wake up in the middle of the night. You standing over me with a knife talking about some
separate for the serial killer stuff, something he's saying is true. You do want to, if you're only experiencing the good of a person, enjoy it, but be cognizant that you don't know them fully. You comfortable, you vibing, but you don't know someone fully until you see other sides. And Liz, we gonna pray you get that. But after Ed, I don't know, bitch. I actually like Liz.
Oh yeah, she's likable. She's very
She's
sweet.
quirky, but when it comes to like dating, she just this is what she does. But we gonna pray and come
Yes,
back
we
to you,
are.
Liz, because not much happened. She had a good date. Girl, don't even think about talking to a man about your cancer until you know that you with him. But I
Yeah,
digress.
because not everybody needs to know, your challenges of Earth.
Right.
Let that be
Those
something you deal
challenges
with
of
internally.
earth.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know who to blame for that. So I'm
Mm.
just going to say the challenges of Earth, because we can only put it on what people put into this Earth. So it's the challenges of Earth. Until we can figure out who to blame for cancer, I'm just going to say the challenges of Earth.
I'm sure it's the government. But y'all, shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody who is watching us. We appreciate you for taking the time to watch our video, especially when we are not live. Don't be afraid to leave a comment like the video, even if we are not live. I am constantly looking at the comments and I will happily respond. Let us know how you felt about the episode. Everybody is welcome and everybody's opinion matters. We are going to now get into Sophie's punk ass. Now, Ms. Plastic has decided that she wants to go out with her pregnant friend Julia, who's not that close of a friend if she still has not told her she's pregnant, and she wants to talk to other men. They go out, and Liz comes out, and Sophie acts like she has an attitude with Liz and gets cold and avoids her to go talk to the general doctor that she met. I said, I know you not gonna fucking ignore your friend to go and talk to the next nigga when the whole reason you're ignoring your friend is because of a nigga that you didn't want to talk to, which caused him, your actions caused him to go to your friend to ask her, what's up with your friend? Is she interested? Because the energy is entirely different. Sophie is childish as fuck. If you want him, tell him you want him. But don't tell him and make it seem like you want him and accept his gifts and all of these things off camera. And now that you're in front of him because you're seeing some other cute boys around and some other potential work, you're not interested. I saw somebody online say that Sophie is the type of bitch that only wants to be interested in a dude once they're not showing interest in her. That's stupid, and she deserves everything that she gets. She really does with dating. Like, if this is how you're moving, you deserve all that you get this negative dating, Sophie. You just do. I don't have really much else to say. I feel like with Sophie, it's okay to date, but the way that she's moving is stupid, and you're looking for people to blame for your own actions. Grow up. Grow up. Maybe the silicone that you put in your lips and your titties done impacted your brain stream or something. I don't know, but it's time to grow up. You could be a player and a boss bitch and juggle niggas, Sophie, without doing this stupidly. Like, call me.
Agreed.
Call me, girl. I'll guide you. Because she's doing it wrong. But she talks to Liz, and Liz explains to her, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I wasn't trying to sabotage you. And Liz was like, I was drinking, so I don't even fully remember what we said. But I know he came up to me because he was concerned, and I wasn't trying to sabotage you. I thought I was looking out for you, which it does seem like she was doing. But this is also why it's important to mind your Black-owned business, or mind your regular business if you ain't Black. Because if Liz would have been like, I don't want to get involved, but I recommend you talk to her, that would have been the perfect response. But Liz responded anyway. I feel like maybe production was like, just entertain him maybe, but because in real time, most females wouldn't even do that. But Liz apologizes without being warranted, without being asked. She sees her friend is upset. She's like, this was not my intention. She explained where she was coming from, and then she apologized sincerely. And Sophie was screaming over the apology and over everything she said. I'm like, you screaming and doing all of this over a nigga that don't even belong to you, that you don't even want. That you don't even want. I said, this fake plastic bitch is doing too much. If I was Liz, I would have walked away. I cannot. But how'd you feel about their argument? Because I feel like Sophie's on some BS.
Sophie was on some BS because here's the thing, Sophie. You don't even want this man. Like, you keep giving him the cold shoulder and keep friend zoning him. And he's under a different impression. So if you're not going to be honest and he's spending all of this money, of course he's going to then go to the girlfriend you brought on the trip with you to say, hey, is it something that I'm doing? Is there another problem? Is there something that you can explain? And she just, she didn't even go into exact detail. She just said, from a girl's perspective. It's not like she said, oh, she got another man. She over there bumping and grinding. She over there in the Dominican Republic living her wild life, throwing that leg up in the air and twerking that ass back. It's not like she said all of that. Now, Liz said all of that, then I would understand. Because then that's breaking girl code.
All Liz said was what we already knew, because we watched your dumb ass on TV. We watched your marriage fail. Liz just pointed out the obvious. She's getting out of a marriage. So she may just be afraid to jump into a relationship, which is, no one should find anything wrong with that. Like, honestly, if someone was to come up to me dating James, like saying similar things, I would probably, if they insisted on something, say something similar to Liz. Like, because if you know that someone has just gotten out of a marriage, you should know that they may be trepidatious as it relates to approaching dating. Absolutely. And that's okay. I don't understand why Sophie did that, but I think she's just realized that she really messed up by not entertaining Pedro and playing in his face. And now she needs somebody to blame.
I don't even think I think she does need somebody to blame. I do agree with that. But I think that what it is that I do think she wants to entertain him, but she wants to entertain the things he can do for her. I don't think it's necessarily entertainment of wanting to be with him because she likes the extravagant gifts, no matter how she tries to come off like she doesn't. She
That's
likes
what
that
it is.
attention.
She
She
loves
likes
it.
all of that. So what Liz did potentially was fuck that up for her. And now she feels away because she don't want to come out on camera and say, oh my God, girl, he's getting us VIP free drinks, gifts and chocolates and heart-shaped boxes of chocolates and teddy bears and shit, and you ruining my thing. She didn't want to come out and say like that because that would look crazy as hell on TV, right?
You
So
know
yeah,
what?
you're
That's
gonna
probably what it is because she does look
yes,
gold digger, the way that she moves. And then whenever I see someone get on TV and the first thing they do with their money is plastic surgery, that tells me you're not thinking in the long run. You're thinking of what you can get right now and what somebody else can do for you.
exactly,
Because most
exactly.
people will do, well, most people will wait. It took it took Lenithia Leaks 8 seasons before she went and changed her face and her body. And her wealth has lasted. So I don't know. But Sophie, you wrong. Liz, you didn't
Mhm.
break girl code. Julia, you're a whack ass third wheel of a friend. Talk some sense into your friend, but we know you. I don't even know why you here. But
I don't know why she did either because she was not helpful whatsoever. Like you could be like, I didn't care what side she picked. Just pick one side, but like either girl,
and
look, you
stay
tripping.
there. We don't
Yeah,
even care. We
I don't
don't
even
even
care what
care.
side she picked because either way, she gonna be wrong in some capacity.
I didn't care for
So
her on 90 Day either when I
I don't
watched her
know her, so I
season.
can't.
I
Yeah.
remember her. I just did not care for her, but I'll digress. Vanya. We don't have much on Vanya. We pretty much see, I think we got like 1 or 2 scenes with Vanya, and they were each less than 5 minutes because I timed it. She's has this friend that she's interested in. She wants to date. The problem is she made the first move on her friend. Women in heterosexual relationships, we are to be chased. We are the prize, baby. We are the prize. Okay? Don't go chasing these men. If a man wants you, and I watched this with my husband, and I kept saying it, and he did not disagree with me. If a man wants you, you're gonna know.
Yep.
He'll say yes to you even if he's not ready.
Right.
He may not be ready for what you want, but he'll say yes to you because he wanted you. Like if a man knows that he's interested in someone, I don't care if he's a gay man, a straight man, a trans man. If a man knows what he wants and is interested, he gonna make a move.
Yep.
He just is. And Vanya is not getting that. This man is literally also telling her that, and she's just ignoring it, which is driving me crazy. He tells her verbatim he cannot commit to making a decision about dating her. And she decides to question that if she didn't make the move, the first move by kissing him, would he have wanted to date her? And he's like, I can't answer that. And that's not fair, which is not. And he says in the confessional, he feels like Vanya rushes things. And he explained himself, he's like, I'm very slow to date. And what I heard from Vanya is that she's very self-centered in relationships, because if you really like this man and you were listening to him, I'm sure he's explained to you before that he's slow to date and has his own issues. But you're trying to rush him because it feels right for you. But it has to feel right for both of you in order
Right.
for you to become a couple. I don't know why she's not getting it, but how did you feel about it?
It was exactly what you said. She gives me very self-centered, very much, it's all about her. It's, in the relationships, the man has to do this, has to do that, has to have a checklist of things to do. And it's like, I see why you're alone. I see why you're alone because nobody in their right mind has to have everything A through Z checked off for your ego and pride. It's like, no, ma'am, you need to humble yourself. Because I see why a man would have pause with her. I do.
Yeah.
I was looking at her choice of man and I was like, I see why he has pause because I would too.
Yeah, she's doing too much. She's rushing it. She's not. Another thing you have to be willing to do is you have to allow that man to one, show you he's interested. You have to allow him the space to court you. You have to give him the time to get to know
Agreed.
you. And he
Yes.
can't get to know you if you go straight to dating. You got to get to know him separate. That's why it's good to be friends first, because you'll learn a lot of
Hmm.
stuff being friends with somebody first that will become necessary to know about once you're dating them. But
Yes.
I know that's hard for a lot of people, but I hope she figures it out.
It is hard for a lot of people, I think, because a lot of people compartmentalize, not letting the other person. I think people are afraid that if they don't make the move, then move will never happen. And I think
Mhm.
that that's why we have a lot of people in such dysfunction, because you have to understand you are two singular people that are trying to make a plural thing happen, which is a relationship. So if you don't have a base level understanding of that, no relationship you will ever get into will ever work, at least long term.
Mhm.
So,
That's true. That's
yeah.
true. I agree with that. Y'all, the last people we gonna discuss is, and apologies for my lighting. The sun is going down. I'm having all sorts of problems. There's glare. I'm doing my best, y'all. Kim. Kim is here and trying to look good and doing all these things. And she goes to a friend. I like that her friends do this. They have parties, she says, all the time. And they have a little event. They get dressed up. It seems like a fun event. She talks to her friends about B. Oh, Lord. Lord. And she says she got her needs met, but she realizes that B is not going to be someone that she could be with, even though she has love for him. And I'm glad that she said that and realized it, because I don't have time for any more delusion. The shows that I cover have stressed me out the gang with the levels of delusion that have been in all of the shows I cover right now. I don't know what's going on. It's extra ghetto. So I was happy to see Kim make a good decision in that, and she's trying to be open to dating other people. Now at the party, there is a gentleman there named Joe who seems Joe seems okay, but Joe also seemed like somebody who dates men and women, and most heterosexual women don't want to deal with that. We want someone like us. Um, and that's okay. But
Yeah.
he just gave me a little sassy. He did his mannerism. He said with Kim, "Oh, let me walk you out to the car." I said, men don't do that are straight. Men that are straight do not do that. I don't care where you come from, what your race is, what your background is, they do not do that. So he gave me a little sassy, but that's okay. But he was really nice. He was easy to talk to. He was charismatic and he was handsome. So he could just be, what do they call it? Metrosexual or whatever they
Mhm.
call it. Some men are that way, a little more feminine in their mannerisms and things like that. And they're not gay. Metrosexual. I don't know why people stopped using that term. I feel like we used to hear it all the time, like growing up.
I think because people don't want to decipher a homosexual from a metrosexual, and I feel like it's so unfortunate because that it really is a life term. Like there are so many men. Prince is a great example for me. That is a complete metrosexual man.
Yes, that's the best example. But he
So,
loves women.
and he loves women down. Apollonia, vanity.
Mm,
So yes.
right. And the thousands of others. Uh, shout out to Prince, legendary Gemini, another one. We great. I know the ones we got present right now aren't, but they used to be. But Joe was nice. It sounds like her friends have been trying to hook her up with him for a while, but she's been reluctant because Kim says she's 5'9". She is a tall woman. That is tall for a woman. Um, I hear it. It sounds like Joe is much shorter than her. But she said that he gets points because she loves Michael Jackson. Kim, you don't give people points for liking Michael Jackson. Everybody loves Michael Jackson. He's the king of fucking pop and one of the most respected and well-known artists in the world. I'm gonna need you to look for other things. But outside of that, I don't have nothing else for Kim. Did you have anything you wanted to add this episode?
I don't.
I'm we're doing. This was rough.
I feel like one, we need more entertaining people. And I need someone, if y'all gonna do a single 90-day fiance before the 90 days, the single life, all of this, if y'all are going to do this, y'all need to start doing psychological exams on these people. Like, I'm sorry, y'all need to start
TLC,
doing
I'm
that.
gonna tell you right
TLC.
now to let that go. They're not gonna do it with any of their shows. TLC said we staying ignorant ever since Honey Boo Boo, and they gonna leave it there. They kept Toddlers and Tiaras on air after all of the scrutiny. TLC don't give a damn. Them, WeTV, VH1, MTV, Zeus, they gonna pimp you out. It's cool. They know what they signed up for.
That
They know
is
what they signed
so
up for.
unfortunate, y'all. That is so unfortunate because when you think of the prospects of life, this is not ideal or realistic. And I get it's for a TV show, but a
But it
lot of these
is.
people, Yeah, a lot of these people do end up with the people they meet on this show. They do. So I would like y'all to have a middle ground somewhere, because I'm telling you, everyone's expectations of the other person is just completely crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Also, the single life is the most disorganized version, I think, of any show they have. The concept is lost, but I'll continue to recap it, y'all. That's all I could do. I am losing sunlight fast, so I'm going to end this video. We hope that you guys like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Also see the links in the description of this video to subscribe to Watch Your Mouth Reviews, Watch Your Best Friends, as well as other great content creators. Leave your opinion in the comments. We will see you guys tomorrow live again, Wednesday, March 4th, to go over Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So we will see you there.
Unfortunately. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.